Hi friends, it's Carol at Crinkle Path Journals, and I'm here because I was invited to be part of a collaboration by Cara Mia at Paper Confessions with Cara Mia and Bianca at BB's Closet Creations, and it is the Paper Bag Junk Journal Prompt Challenge 2025. So we have 30 prompts. The prompts will be posted in the description box below, along with all the other collaborators, and you can jump in on this collaboration. Just use the hashtag, tag BB and Cara Mia, their channels, and tag me too if you saw it here, and I would love to be able to share that you're sharing. You're supposed to make a junk journal out of 6 paper bags. Cara Mia did a video with a suggested way of doing it, and I opted to do it another way because I wanted to use these vintage bags. I purchased these at an estate sale, and I do have some of these for sale on my Maker's Market on the district. And then I got these bags, this garden bag and this dog food bag from Sandy Wilhelmina Junk Journals. And this is another one of the garden bags. And they're unused. They're new old stock. I also got plain white paper bags from Hazelanaka Design, when I visited her in Canada. The white paper bags I am saving to do the masterboard cover, so that you won't see them yet. But what I ended up doing was I ended up cutting these bags open like this, and I left this bottom part, so I thought I would show you how I did this, if I can repeat it. First and foremost, I opened the bag. What I want to save is 3 sides and the bottom. And so first I'm going to take out the gusset on this side. And don't worry, I will save it. I'm sure that I will find another use for it. And I saved the other one to help with my paper snippet for my spine. Okay, I'm cutting. Okay, so what I'm forgetting already, but what I found was easier than cutting on the line was to just cut the fold off. See, I already forgot that part. Believe me, I've been spending some time wrapping my head around how I wanted to do this, and then you kind of start and then you have to walk away a little bit and think about it some more, and so that's partly why I'm forgetting. But that, and there's just a lot of happy, wonderful, busy things going on in my life. So how are you all doing? And do you know someone else who's in the collaboration that's inspiring you to maybe jump in? Are you thinking about joining? We'd love to have you. And did I say the list of 30 prompts will also be in the description box below? See, now I just want to clean that up because I did that a little bit messy, but we'll let it go for now, and let's get the other side of this off. I don't know why it seemed so much easier when I wasn't on camera. Maybe if I don't talk, I'll cut straighter. Yeah, I did much better on this side. Okay, then I'm going to just take this all the way off across the bottom. Hard to get in those pointy corners. And one more, hopefully, snip. I didn't quite get through the second. It's a double layer bag. Oh my goodness, I didn't get through there. Okay, well, we're doing it now. So I really wanted to thank Cara Mia and Bianca for inviting me because I need collabs. I did a live where I showed these bags that I was going to use for the journal, and I also opened some Happy Mail and announced all these wonderful things that are happening, and that was, I think, my last video that I posted. And I was talking about how life just gets very busy, and it's very easy for me to stay focused on my family, which is super important to me. I'm not complaining about that. Okay, I gotta stop and think before I mess this up. Okay, I'll come back to that thought. I gotta remember this is this side, and I want this to flip up. But let's see, maybe if I'm putting it in the back, we'll do it the other way this time. So I want it to flip up in the back. So I'm gonna cut across here, and then we should be able to get this all the way open. Yeah, so my family. I help take care of my granddaughter. I'm living with my oldest daughter, her husband, the grandbaby, another baby on the way. We all moved together to a big farm. If you watch my videos, this is old news. But there's a lot of things to take care of, and a lot of things that need love and attention and to be fed and things like that, including, you know, garden soil and animals and pets and projects. So I can drop everything and do that, but then I start getting weary because I need my creativity. I need my outlet, my relaxation, to be with you guys, to get my hands messy and play. And so I make commitments to collaborations because you spur me on, and my family's very respectful and supportive of my time, but I'm the one at fault here, because if they need something, I'm going to drop everything and run to them, and that is not always the healthiest thing for me because I get worn down. So I have to be more disciplined about giving myself some free time to craft and create and play. Okay, now I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this one exactly. It's got these really cool things on the side too. So this is kind of how I did the first one. Was I opened it all the way up, took one side off, and then I folded it on the gusset and just folded this up. I might want to do that with this one too. I just don't want it, it's going to be wider than the other piece then here, this piece then. Do I mind that? Let's see. Yeah, that's going to look funny hanging over. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and open this up by opening, just taking both sides off. And then I'll figure out some way to use these sides some other way. So have you made a paper bag journal before? I made a very, very small one out of, it was a little prayer journal, out of the small cello bags that you get to like put cookies in. Let me see. I have these that I plan to use in here. It's something sort of like this. I use little things like this and paper to do sort of a paper bag journal for a prayer journal, and I have a video on that. It was the first junk journal activity that I ever participated in. It was back when I was teaching Bible journaling classes once a month for the local churches in our area, and people would come from all these different churches to be a part of it, and I just really love doing that. Ooh, maybe I could use it as a side tuck if I leave it in there. Okay. I'm going to try and have this part go not upside down by trimming it here. Yes, I'm making it up as I go along. But that's the fun, huh? That video is on my channel. I will try and link it in the in scene. Make sure you go over to all the collaborators' channels and check them out. It's fun. I'm getting to collaborate with some. You know, you just can't watch everybody, and I wish you could, but there's almost only so much time in the day for that too. And I really try not to have my phone out when I'm with my granddaughter. It's just not a good thing for little ones. So, okay. We got that. I guess I'm just going to glue it down to this side. And then that's how it'll be a page. And then I plan to sew these in. I do some no-sew journals with kind of like a traveler's notebook, but I do it with not stretchy thread and twine or whatever. But this one I think I'm going to sew in just like I do my normal pictures. Okay, I may have to put some paper over that to disguise that a little bit. I like this. We can make a tuck out of that. I may round the corners. This can become a pocket or a flip. And that is going to go... Ooh, I guess I gotta glue this together too. I hate to lose that graphic, but we've got it on the other side. So just the way it goes. It's there. Well, at least you and I do. Put the pin in the glue or I won't be able to do anything. Yeah, we have a lot of fun collaborations coming up. This one is all of September. Looking forward to keeping on with this. Gather in October. That's with Traveling Crafter and Jonna the Preppy Crafty Girl and I. I'm excited about that. I have a list of journals I want to make. I'm probably really being over ambitious, so I may not actually finish them all, but I'm going to have fun trying. That one, that one, that one, that one. So that's 4 bags. The 2 paper bags that are just plain white that Hazel gave me, they are going to get a spine on them and go around here. So you will see that next. I really hope you'll come along. I think I'm going to kind of speed through the other parts of this first week's challenge. We had 7 challenges for this week. I plan to record those, not really a tutorial, just a quick show of me working on it. I hope you like the video and that you subscribe if you haven't seen me create anything, because I know I haven't been around doing a whole lot other than sales and some small projects. I'd love for you to come back and hang out with me again. Enjoy the rest of the video. Stick around till the end and jump on over to somebody else in the list below and check out what they're doing. Thanks so much. I think I'm just going to glue some cardstock on top of this and punch it. It does not want to punch the thin paper, and that will glue this back together. That's real life. So the last thing I wanted to show you was some texture paste, but I thought I would also go back over. I just tucked some plain journaling cards, some flashcards, etc. in here. I did not embellish any of them yet. I'm going to make this pocket work. I went ahead and glued these pockets and kind of tucked some cards in there just to kind of remind me where the pockets are and where I need to embellish. This I left as just a tuck, and this I'm going to leave so that I can flip it open if I want. I added this envelope pocket, and I had thought about making it a double pocket, but sometimes things get lost in these really deep ones, so I thought I'll do something else up here. And this is where I'm going to do my texture. And then there is a belly band here, and that was one of our other prompts for the week. And I may go ahead and embellish this some more. I have some fun 1940s little wallpaper trims, and I think it would be really fun to use some of this. I will keep that aside to work on in this next week. And we have more prompts to do in this next week, so I'll just keep working away at this. And this pocket's the one that tore, so I do have to patch that. But I got that I have floating tags, and I want them to get embellished a little bit maybe, or at least give me, you know, a space on the back to write. Now let's get some texture on here, and then I'm going to leave this to dry for the night. This journal is going to be very eclectic. Oh, so before I do that, I will say one more thing. I have been fussy cutting. So usually in the evening, maybe the hour before we go to bed, we sit and my husband will watch TV, and I usually fussy cut. And I like to find things that are of interest to me, fun things to fussy cut, and not necessarily the things that I end up picking that are fun are things that are really in my style. But if I just find something engaging, I grab it and I start fussy cutting. So this is what I have been fussy cutting for the last couple of months, just maybe an hour here or there at night. And it has all these really bright red, white, and blue and yellow. And I thought because this is upside down. I thought because the stuff on the bags was red and white and blue, I would just stick with that theme and maybe not go with the yellow. But the artist illustrator here is Barby Rurallife40, R-H-Y-S. And I just think they're kind of funny and fascinating. Cool graphics. So here is a stack of things that I fussy cut that are pretty much all red, white, and blue. And so I grabbed them And I thought, well, you know what? This is what I might be embellishing with. So it's going to be a little bit random. Everything from Superman to marshmallow fluff. So we'll see how we incorporate some of that. But I thought I'd show you that too. And I'll keep fussy cutting between our little sessions here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of line this up on the bottom. And I have my texture paste. If you mix a little acrylic paint with your texture paste, you can get colors. Obviously, you don't want to do that in the main jar. So I think I had done that for Masterboard Madness back in, was that April? Gosh, time flies. Okay, so now I'm just taking my palette knife, and I probably should have taped this down because I'm doing a large area, but I'm just going for it. And I'm just gonna scrape it across and try and fill the holes as evenly as possible. I love using texture paste. I just feel like it adds an element that is just so fun. I mean, you can use any of your stencils. You can use it on stamps, but you have to be very careful because if it dries at all, you may ruin your rubber stamps. Ask me how I know. There's also, you don't have to use a stencil. You can just smear it on to give kind of some texture to your page. I usually just do a little section or a small stencil. I'm really doing a bunch here. And then you just have to leave it to set to dry completely before you close your journal. Obviously. Now we very gently lift this up without sliding it. Woohoo! And it just, when it dries, it just has such a cool feeling to it. You can ink it after the fact, but I really want the contrast here, and so I'm just doing it with the white. All right, that's all for me this week. I'll see you again next week, and I'll get to see you twice next weekend, hopefully, on Sunday. Once for my video here, and once because we are doing another Bible journaling reset. And Jonna, the preppy crafty girl, will be taking the lead Sunday with the Bible journaling reset and talking about apps and websites, or a website that is helpful with your Bible study. So I hope you'll come along for both that and more of this collaboration, and I hope you'll join us. Thanks. Bye.